I do want to get on your voice group chat because that is fascinating to me.
Rock and I headlined 3 WrestleMania together. He just said, man, I can't thank you enough for what you did for me. I just want you to know I love you, man.
And so I ended up writing this whole song about my experience going through a live bank robbery.
Well, this is the best interview ever. Keep the compliments coming, Kelly. Oh my God.
Your second run on The Voice starts tonight, so how are you feeling this time? You feel like way more relaxed about giving us crap, which I love.
Yeah, I now view all of you as like my brothers and sister.
Exactly.
And so I don't really care.
No feelings. No one has feelings.
Let it go and just take you guys down a notch.
I love it.
No, it's been fun. I mean, I obviously love doing the show with you guys and working with these incredible artists. But I learned a lot from the first season, you know, and just interacting with them. We're coaches, sure, but I think the thing that's so cool is that we also learn so much in the process about ourselves and the artists we're working with, and how to give each other crap. And that's been the most fun and rewarding part of being on the show for a second season.
Well, because you have to navigate the person, because all the coaches are different. You're like, how far can I push this one?
Well, that was the first thing on like day one of my first season.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to offend someone. There's always that line. But then I realized you guys are hard to offend.
It takes an awful lot to offend me. And usually when people are offensive, if it's at least funny, I'm like, points.
Okay, good point.
All right.
Yeah, there have been a few things. I can't remember exactly which things, but times where it was like, oh, it stung a little bit too much.
Oh, man. So
But
my bad. We'll hug it out when we can after
hug it out.
COVID. Okay.
Well, we can't.
But yeah, we can't now, but afterwards. Well, there's a history of the guys being named the sexiest man alive. We've talked about this in interviews we've all done.
But it doesn't really make sense. I mean, if we have talked about it, but Blake Shelton and John Legend, I'm kind of thinking if I ever was invited into this brotherhood.
Adam is in it as well. He was one of them.
Makes more sense.
Really?
Makes more sense.
Those three, okay.
So I think, you know, I would question the validity of this.
You question it. You think they're running out of people?
I think they're running out of people.
Yeah.
I think that maybe Blake paid somebody, you know, I don't want to start rumors here, but.
He did something for it. You've got a Parks text chain going, and we have one with The Voice. Like, we always kind of switch it up with the coaches. So I'm wondering, like, how's your text chain going?
That's so fun that you have a voice text chain. Yeah, the cast of Parks and Rec are still really close and keep in touch. In fact, we just this month celebrated a bunch of birthdays with a bunch of people, you know, remotely, of course, including my beautiful wife, Rashida Jones. But yeah, we try to check in and see how everyone's doing. And just like anyone, we've just been, you know, trying to be there for each other during very lonely times. But that family is so special to me. And the fact that we all, you know, really genuinely love each other is so great. And however, I do want to get on your voice group chat because that is fascinating to me.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. My assistant the other day brought up, she was like, I hope these never get out. Well, you and I text often about the talk show stuff, and especially, I mean, right when both of us started our talk shows, the world like shut down. So I know we both keep going, you know, back and forth about, wait, what can you do? What can you do? Because it's like the weirdest thing to shoot a show right now. But I love how authentic you insist on being in your show. It's just, is that something you've always been like since you were a kid?
Thank you. Well, this is the best interview ever. Keep the compliments coming, Kelly. Oh my God. Honestly, it's something that I worked on. You know, when I made my first YouTube videos, I was uncomfortable, and then I learned to get to a place to be myself. And when I started late night, I had to go through that journey all over again. Like, admittedly, in season 1, I thought there was moments where I wasn't completely being myself. Maybe I was nervous, or I felt a lot of pressure. And so with season 2, I'm really prioritizing throwing all facades out the window. I want to be completely authentic. You know, me and my producers always have like little mini headbutt sessions because I'll be interviewing a guest and they'll script something that's like, you know, I love doing this movie. And I'll be like, I've never seen that movie. And I insist on being authentic about it because I don't want to lie. I'd rather make the time to watch all of the things before I interview someone. And if I don't have the time, I'd rather be honest and say, like, listen, people online are going crazy about you, as opposed to like, I loved you in this movie and I'm such a big fan, because I just feel like it doesn't come real. Putting on a facade and putting on a face and lying, it's exhausting. It's so much more fun to just be real and be yourself. Yes, it's a little more scary, but I just feel like I'm in such a good place right now where I'm so weird and I show it on my show and I have nothing to hide. I'm just like, this weirdo is who you get and you're not gonna get anybody else.
But I think we're all a little weird. I think that's why people love you. Like, we're all a little weird. I don't think that's abnormal.
Weird. Me and you specifically are super weird.
Yeah, we might be at the end of the spectrum, but it's fine. It's working out for us. So, well, today is National Snack Day. So what was your favorite British childhood snack?
Jaffa cakes.
What the hell's a Jaffa cake? I've been to England. What's a Jaffa
It's interesting because there's some discourse about whether it's a cake or a biscuit, because apparently a cake's a cake when it goes stale and a biscuit's a biscuit when it goes soft. Anyway, it's technically a biscuit, but it's called a cake. Oh my God, I'm boring myself talking about Jaffa cake.
And then what you call biscuits are cookies for us, right?
Yeah. So it's like a soft cookie with like a layer of sponge, a layer of orange marmalade, and then a layer of chocolate, and it's divine.
Okay, wait, they actually sent me your favorite British snack, and I was like, how do you pronounce this? But thank you, Justin. So kind. With your pretty napkin.
So you have to nibble around the side.
Oh.
And then bite into the middle.
Okay.
Maybe not the whole thing because it'll take you a while, but that was how I used to do it. But you have to get the orange to appreciate it.
That's delicious. Yeah, it's like orange and chocolate, and it's like tangy and sweet. Yeah. I really like it. Well, they told me you were sending me your favorite snacks, so I sent you one of my childhood favorites as well. So you have Oreos, right? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Oreos are fabulous, but if you want to go big, which is how Texans do, where I'm from, you have the dipped ones in chocolate and then you freeze them. Exactly, I heard that. Somebody said, oh. And that's how you will go, oh, like after you eat them. Yeah, so you can have the Oreo now. You probably had an Oreo, right?
I have, but let's pretend I haven't. How do I eat it?
Actually, you know what's so funny? So I'm like the commercial with the child. I'm 38 years old and I still pull it apart and lick the icing a bit, and then I put it back together, and then I sandwich it up. Yeah, but I'm telling you, chocolate covered and freeze them, and well, maybe don't start it, because goes to Christmas future right here, chick. Oreos are awesome. They're classic. All right, well, tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I got asked to be a part of this project a couple of years ago, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's basically the first Southeast Asian Disney princess, played by Kelly Marie Tran, who plays basically a warrior. And I play Sisu, who's a dragon, the last dragon that exists. And Raya bails me out of a rock that I've been in, and we go to kind of fix this world that's been broken for many years. So yeah, I think it's definitely something I've never seen before. It was such an honor to be a part of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. We literally watched the trailer like 3 times. But this summer, this is amazing because you're actually starring in Marvel's first Asian-led superhero movie. I'm a huge superhero lover. I love any superhero movie. I'm in. And I think it's really cool because is this the first time? Like, I mean, I know that we're working on representation in the industry, and I know that definitely progress still needs to happen, but it's pretty cool. Like, it's a full Asian cast, right?
Yeah, this is definitely a first in terms of the Asian superheroes in the Marvel universe, and this one is Shang-Chi, played by Simu Liu, and it was such a pleasure to work with him. I think when representation and all that, I think these movies are definitely adding to that collection, and it's definitely changed a lot. So it's cool to be a part of.
I know. Did you freak out? I would freak out if somebody was like, "Do you want to be part of?" As soon as Marv came out of their mouth, I'd be like, "Yes." I was like, what do I do? I'll just walk by in the scene. Like, I was like, it's so cool. I love the whole thing. So I'm very excited to see that as well. So I have to say, The Rock was your last match, right? So in the ring, he actually whispered something in your ear. So what did he say?
We were WrestleMania 19 in Seattle, and there was probably 70, 75,000 people there. We'd sold it out. Rock and I headlined 3 WrestleMania together, which no one has ever done. And he knew that after that match, I was going to retire and ride off into the sunset. And he knew that I didn't want to retire, but, you know, I had some nerve and neck issues, and I needed to get out of the business. And after the 3 count, after he pinned me, after 3 rock bottoms, he just said, man, I can't thank you enough for what you did for me. I just want you to know I love you, man. And I'm laying there, and we got 70,000 people there. There's a couple of million people watching on pay-per-view, and you know, I just kind of looked up at him. I said, I think I had my eyes closed. I said, I love you too, verbatim. And it's been a deal where, you know, Rock and I have been great friends from when he first came into the company, and we turned it into a rivalry. And many times, you know, when he was the bad guy or I was the bad guy, and when we were both good guys, we always had a great friendship and a lot of respect and a lot of love for each other. And the thing about The Rock was he was one of probably my most favorite opponent. He brought out the best in me, and I brought out the best in him. And when you put the 2 #1 guys in there together, magic happens.
Yeah, I love when chemistry happens like that. Like in any kind of form when people are working together. It's just like if it's in a TV show or in WWE or if it's in a movie, whatever it is, or musically speaking, it's so cool when that you feel it. You feel that kind of energy. So what about, I heard about, is it the Shooter song? What's that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the Shooter song was actually on my first album.
Yeah.
When I was around 18 years old, there was a crazy story that took place where I was in the bank getting some cash for a weekend vacation, and the bank got robbed. So these 2 guys came in with, you know, masks, automatic weapons, and told everyone to get down on the ground. And so I ended up writing this whole song about my experience going through a live bank robbery. And then years later, Lil Wayne ended up doing a verse on it and put it on his album, and we won. And he won a Grammy on that album, actually.
That's amazing. That's an incredible experience. Somebody told me that, and I was like, "Wait, what? I didn't know that."
Yeah,
that's traumatizing.
Pretty wild. It was a little traumatizing. However, I think once it was over, I was okay with it. It reminded me of the movies. It seemed kind of surreal at the time. I didn't really feel threatened as much as I did, like, wow, this really does look like a movie.
Oh my God, you're different than me. I'd be in therapy the next month. I'd be like, it was tragic.
Well, I know what it was. It was probably because they were very young. They seemed like they were 19, 18-year-old kids. They looked just like my friends. Dressed up in masks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't see these big, muscular adult men. I saw like 2 slim teenage men come in.
Making poor decisions.
And they looked like my buddies. So there was something strange about that probably.
Yeah, absolutely. That probably was, yeah, I guess that was different. I had to tell you this because I have no idea how I got this honor, but I got to talk to the First Lady recently, and she had something to say about your movie. So I had to show you. So here it is. Well, what's the last movie you saw together?
Oh, the last movie we actually saw on Friday. It was Land. It's the new movie out with Robin Wright.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, she was great. So she goes out into the wilderness and survives, and it's a beautiful movie. You should see it.
I am so into that. I was like, I asked her any movie. You know how many movies are out right now? Like there's Netflix, there's Prime, there's all these options you can watch movies on, and she saw yours. I was like, when for Robin Wright? How did that make you feel?
God, that makes me want to cry. That's amazing. Cause
yeah,
I mean what they've been through, you know, and
yeah.
That it's such a full end to the movie. I hope it hugged their heart.
No, I think what was so important is actually what you just said, what they've been through. They've had so much grief and loss there's been so much of that in their family, and they keep overcoming, and they're that side of humanity that you say is so strong and so resilient. And I thought it was probably a very healing movie, you know, for them to see, or other people that have had grief and loss, and unfortunately I think most of us have. Yep, I'm still here, just waiting for you to subscribe. If you don't, I'll be trapped in this box forever.